Hello, hello. How are we doing today? Big week ahead, big weeks ahead of us. I was guided today. Venus is working with rose quartz, so this has been in my pocket on my right side for my reality all day. And I was guided as Venus is now, she's 3 degrees into the fire of Aries that we would call 174 in frequency astrology, that we would call the male divine on the planet. So with all this fire energy, I've been asked to harmonize this with the earth energy, which is what this harmonization of this beautiful tool does. So if you just take a moment, close your eyes maybe, take a deep breath while we just play a little bit of harmonization with this today for the fire that's working through all of us. There we go. And that just harmonizes the fire with the earth element, which enables us to really harness in to Gaia, which is what's happening at the moment. So again, I'll put the link down below. So if this isn't your first language, you can go onto the website and just press the language bar and put it into your own language. It's beautiful and sunny here in the south of France, but it is extremely windy and a little bit cold, which is why I've got my scarf on today, because I'm looking after my throat energy center. And we all are going through many different things. It's communication of expansion, of changing your and the collective future timeline beyond space and time. A very big, powerful title. This moment on planet, the collective, we are creating our own future and bringing it into the present moment. So a long time ago, when I first started channeling and we had to heal this body, they produced a lot of triangle energy of how we can use it for ourselves, especially with our reality. This week signifies a moment in space and time where there is the beginning of a huge release of past trauma and karmic issues. This timeline is beginning on a global scale, the release of trauma. Sometimes we think we have done the work and then something crops up, right? This is the week, the start of clearance, the minor details leading to the big details, to unknowable transformation. And this is what the team expressed through me this week, because I've been going through it a little bit. I'll be fair. I've just come back from the dentist, and realizing it's nothing to do with the teeth. So now we can go on with the journey and find out exactly, because remember, our bodies are a message board, and this is how I use my body. And as we have Venus now settled into the fire of Aries, the male divine, to give us that fiery push that may be needed within us all, expressing through our reality. She's not doing this alone, she's working with Eris and Chiron. Now, so before we go any further, I'm going to show you this triangle. Can you see it? Yeah. So you can see here, I don't know if it's back to front on the screen, but it's actually in the blog. So if you go onto dragon'seyehub.com to the blog, you'll find this triangle here. But basically it's about, because in this paradigm, I asked about time, like we've done a lot of writing about time to help us understand the concept of time. But in a nutshell, where we're all originating from, there is no time, because it's beyond space and time. And time here, everything is slowed down in the third density, Everything is slowed down so we can enjoy the moment longer, which is why we have past, present, and future. Whereas if we were at home, it would all be in the moment. So now we're here and we're able to slow things down so we can understand more about certain emotional, physical, and emotional evolution within us all. So this is a third density: past, present, and future. Now, if we work constantly with the past, this makes our present. If we let go of the past, this makes our future, a new future. So if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. But if you're willing to go down that self rabbit hole, your rabbit hole, not anyone else's rabbit hole, your rabbit hole, like I do constantly with myself, because the body is a message board, we can look at how the past is such a gift, especially when we were children, is such a gift. And we can go down our own rabbit hole, and actually we've got a main title most kids have. We've got a main title. It normally includes the parents or the grandparents. It could be karmic. A lot of it is karmic right now. But by going down your own rabbit hole, allowing yourself to let go of the past, piece by piece. You know, you think you do it all at once and it's done, and then suddenly something comes along and you go, aha! So, you know, is this a constant story, letting go of the past? But let it be said, when you start to let go of the past, it creates a future, which brings us into the New Earth energy. And, you know, I have been in the New Earth a lot. You know, the other day, 3 hours. And the first thing that hit me when I went into the New Earth is I was taken there a long time ago and didn't know where it was. I just thought it was amazing. And then since last September, when I was asked to unplug from this density and to go more into the density of the New Earth, or the fifth density, through the fourth, which is where we are now, which is the bridge, it was very interesting, because the one thing throughout all my comings and goings of the New Earth, of my own story, was the connection to Gaia. The first time I was in the water, it was all very green and jungly, and there's a house that we created. But now, as we're going further into the details, which is what we've just been talking about, you know, like going into those details that lead us into the bigger details, the bed, the feet on the ground, the body on the ground, I could see the energy in white coming towards me, to my body, and my body's energy going towards it, like chi in Chinese medicine. And when I was in Costa Rica, I remember them looking at this tree, and I was stood on the tree roots every morning early when I was on my own doing my frequency before we started work. And I could see the light going up and down from this tree. And I thought at the time, how beautiful, not realising this was my inroad to comprehending what the New Earth is all about, which is much more connection to Gaia, her consciousness and the planet and the light. And so I won't go any more on about that, but because it has much relevance with today, is working with Gaia. Because the end of this story this week, it's all about working, it's coming from the centre of the heart, Cupido, working with our Akashic guides within the cosmos and Gaia to enable change. This toolbox energy here, your Cupido, so all those out there with body maps, go to your Cupido. This toolbox energy is working with Gaia and wanting to heal, to create wholeness within, you know, like within you. Lay your feet on the ground and let her work, her magic of composting of what you no longer require and desire. After you found the epicenter of the issue playing out and all the tributaries, you know, all those little bits. We have a main river, which we could see as maybe a problem, but it's a teacher, right? And all the tributaries that come towards it. So you think, oh yeah, I know what that river's called. Yeah, I feel that. And then suddenly there's a flow in, there's something else, and there's something else, and it comes in. And it's quite interesting how it creates the whole. And when after you have found the epicenter of the issue playing out and all the tributaries that have held and supported this way of seeing, thinking, believing to be released. The frequency of Cupido for the collective is 963 on the 999, and the affirmation of Cupido is I am. It's all about your sovereignty, not giving it away. 999 is Palo Santo, the wood. It's turquoise, the stone. It's to help you remember your sovereignty. And this frequency, the 963, is connection. So just play 963 and just say I am, and this will, just play it and just connect. This frequency will enable strength as we're graduating through karmic lifetimes, or in this lifetime, issues of healing the child within, creating a whole new way of seeing and wholeness within. So it's interesting, as you heal and you see different things and things change, your perspective changes. And what we learn through from whatever happened when we were children and has been a constant pair of spectacles throughout this lifetime does have this relevance to karmic, if you've had many lives on the planet, or just in this lifetime. And suddenly that teacher enables you then to become the teacher for yourself. So it's really quite interesting. So if we go a bit further into what's going on this week, as we have Venus now settled into Aries, as we were talking about, the male divine, to give us that fiery push that may be needed within us all, expressing through our reality. She's not doing this alone. Like I said, she's working with Eris and Chiron. So as we know, Venus is our whole left side, and at the moment she is on 174 on the 333, working with fire for expansion within us all. So we're getting that push. It may not be pleasant at times and be bringing us all to all sorts of feelings, trying to find that nut inside us, the epicenter of this energy that is, it's personal to us all. But when we're an all, if each one of us helps ourselves find our nut, we can help each other, and helping each other creates the one. In this perspective, there's a lot of Earths right now that the energy is slowing right down. I know in past weeks it's been very fast, but it's slowing right down, like a magnifying glass, shining that light in the darkest of corners within you. And like I said, that triangulated tool, maybe try it, sit down, draw it, write down the problem where the past is, write down where you are at the present, and write down what your future you would like, and then see how you get there, how you've been making where you are in the present, and how you want to change that and create the future. This is how this triangle works. That's the outline, and then you write around it and you work with it and see what comes up. Again, Louise L. Hayes is a great way to start if it's physical, and it helps you find that emotional nutshell through a situation so you can really help yourself. So like we said, step one, look to the epicenter that's caused what is coming up for you. Number two, are you going on the path of how you've always dealt with certain things in your life? Or step three, are you going to let go? Are you going to let how you, I've got to read this properly because I've wrote it down with the team. Or are you going to let how you've always dealt with certain situations find a new way of trying it out and enabling yourself to create a new future? So, we can look at the world, and are we dealing with things like we've always done? Or do we see if we can do it differently? And this is personal to us. It's personal to who we are. It's personal of how we do this. Because then when we get together, we can say, hey, I did this, I did that. And together we can create a whole new way of dealing with world crisis, because we have to deal with the crisis within. So it's quite interesting what they were showing me this week. We've done a whole list of the frequencies like we do every week of where Venus is, to enable clarity for you to let go and find new pathways. So today is the fiery push of expansion. Tomorrow is the fiery push of Atlantean codes, working with the Earth's magnetics So this week is a very good week for grounding. Every day is great for grounding, right? It's my underlying thing. You know, I get out there bare feet, even if it's cold. Even if it's cold, it hurts. I've done it because it's one way of this body really being able to work with your energy and your light. It really brings them together. Monday is a fiery push of clarity, so a good day to really connect. Then on the 30th, it's a fiery double push day, a lot of activation. So maybe on the 30th, make sure, I mean, I haven't looked in my diary yet, but make sure you've got a few places where you can take an exhale. On the 31st, it's a fiery push of Gaia. On the 1st of April, it's a fiery push of remembrance. So a good day to get out your Palo Santo. Not to be burned. Not here. We roll it in our hands and we smell it, because that connects you to the wood, and the smell connects you. We're using all senses while we're on this planet. So yeah, and turquoise, the crystal, the stone, is a very good one to have. Like today I've got rose quartz, and I'll explain why later. So Eris, so now we're going to the details of the astrology this week, because we did, if I can find it somewhere, I have it somewhere, there we go. This is the chart that we did today, and these are the 3 places that we're concentrating on as guided. So Eris, which is located at the top of your solar plexus, she's working through the throat energy center and the warrior energy, enabling you to speak your truth to yourself. You know, we talk about speaking our truth to others, but there are times when we have to be really truthful with ourselves. And this week is a good place to start with this. Enabling you to speak your truth, shed those long-awaited tears, and bring through release the infinite truth to you. Whatever your truth is of the issue you're working through, to create a new future within, which will create a new future within your reality. So it's quite interesting how Eris, who is I am infinite, I am release. So it's quite interesting. There's a lot of sunshine coming in. I love Uriel, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's blinded me a bit in the left eye. So yeah, left Venus, and the sun shines in. You know, she's trying to connect to us all through our Venus. So it's quite apt, because we've just been talking about her and our new pathway, which is Uranus here. So that's how I connected that bright light that's shining in. That is Uranus, our new path. This is Venus. And so it's quite interesting how this sunlight has come to join us today through synchronization. So again, Eris is I am infinite, I am release on 174 hertz on the 222. So she is working through a Lemurian portal where the non-physical can work with the physical, and the physical can work with the non-physical. So some very quick summations of what you're going through. It's a good week, very good week, to really connect to yourself, because there's going to be a lot of clarity. And then we have Venus and Chiron, who are together. Now Chiron is on the right hand side of the heart. I am love of self. And Venus today is working with expansion of coherence, to create a gateway, a framework for you to expand with. She's collaborating with Chiron within the heart on the right side of the heart energy center of self-love. And Venus is enabling the fiery nurturing of this to bring about sovereignty to any particular issue you have within you, which is expressing through your reality right now. Just play and connect. So remember, Venus is very fiery this week. She's going to be for quite, a couple of weeks. She's working with the male divine. The feminine divine is nurture and creation on planet, as is the ascended feminine divine. They're bringing in a lot of pause, slowing down. And so as this energy of the feminine divine slowing things down, so we can see, really, really, really see, like we said earlier on, like a microscope, looking down a microscope, really slowing that perspective down. You will find with this energy that they're really slowing it down. A lot of pause. They're really, really, really slowing this down because it's coming from beyond space and time. It's coming through Polaris, which is like 30 centimeters above our physical energy, above our physical body. But yeah, there's this Lemurian portal is going to slow a lot of this down because the feminine divine is nurture and creation. The male divine is the push of that creation. So imagine you've created a feather, the feminine divine, and so the male divine comes along and is the blow of that feather. So we're all getting that blow, that wind, and it's all, there's a lot of air and fire this week, so it's quick, it's releasing, but it's very quick, and it's getting rid of things once and for all. So yeah, it's a very big gateway this week. So yes, so there we have it. We have Eris on the 222, that portal, and then we have Venus and Chiron working with the male divine, as is Eris. So they're all working with that fiery push. But the energy from beyond space and time is they see it as being very slow, but to us, it's going to be feeling very quick. And it could be a bit dizzying, so just be aware of yourself. And as I said, it's working beyond space and time. This is where these unknowable transformations are coming from. And what we think is the issue, that tributary may tell you it's something else. Our conscious mind is working. Let's come back a bit. Yeah, there's a lot of energy coming in right now to our conscious mind. So just take a deep breath and just allow it in. So this is where these unknowable transformations are coming from, reverberating through your reality. It could be a shock, or have you had this energy coming in to you, showing little bits? Now it's here in front of you, going nowhere until it's been seen. So they're slowing, okay, now I've got the message, they're slowing everything else down. So everything you need to deal with is right in the present. And can you see that sunlight on my hand with that rose quartz? That's the Mars. That's where the healing's at, with this fire and this air energy. So if you feel it's overwhelming, slow yourself down and really sit with the tools that we've given you, with the tools you've already got. Look at all the tools you have. Remember Cupido. Connect to Cupido and see your way forward if it works better for you that way. We're just trying to bring lots of things to you that you can use. This energy is working through our root energy of the collective through Jupiter, so it's very expansive. Our root energy center, Jupiter, is the bridge to the beyond, expressing the creation of the new seed, the new future, the new present. What will this be? What tool is coming up from the past that once worked? What tool is coming up from the past that once worked? And so what they're showing me, I'm sorry if it feels very disjointed at the minute because they keep on coming in with new, not new, but different energies. And what they're showing me right now is, are there tools that you had in the past that you don't use anymore? Like this one, for instance. This came in 2014 and we're now in 2026. And so I'm going to my past to bring this forward, because it's very relevant. So look to see if you've got any tools that you used to use, some of your magic that you used to use that would be very helpful right now. Thank you for that clarity. I was wondering where they were going with that. So the new future, the new present, what will this be? What tool is coming up from the past that once worked? How are you becoming to a new way of being? That's what it's asking. And what is coming to propel you to your new reality? I know what I've been working with comes from a big title from my youth, from my childhood. And yesterday I was working with Kira, who's an amazing Chinese doctor. We did acupuncture. I've got the seeds on my ears. Thank you, Kira, that I've been working with today. So that was, that's an ancient tool that we brought forward and it really helps. I went to see the dentist, and the dentist is by the lake and it's all brand new and he couldn't find anything. So, all these different things to help us find where this is taking us or taking me. So what is happening to you with the physical or the emotional side of your health? And Jupiter can really help you. 396 on the 555. 396 is communication, 555 is evolution. I am expansion, I expand. And so this expansive communication can really help you create that new seed for the journey forward of 2026 and 2027. So that was a long way around of expressing. Just play 396, say I am expansion, I expand, because where Jupiter is right now, it's working on that evolutionary degree. Just play and connect, just play and connect, to really express the creation of the new seed. That's what you're doing there. You're creating this new seed, but to create a new seed, we have to get rid of the past. The past seed that no longer works for you. Where are you going now? What are you allowing to come in? And these old glasses, you need some new glasses, a new perspective. And that's what this week is all about. Now, Vesta at the back here, part of the third eye, I am the site of the third light, is 1185 on the 666. Vesta works with your pineal gland, which is in the center of your brain, your light, and is the projector for the light of how you see your world. And this light is changing depending on your journey. Not the light itself, but the octave you are working with, if this is your journey. This energy is working through the crystal bloodstone, creating an opening. Interesting, this crystal works through the liver and the kidneys, which is a lot of clearing, which we've just been talking about. This stone is also the dragon stone. So bringing energy in to enable this clearing of the pineal gland, to enable the new reality to be played from within, which works with the Earth Star and the heart. So just play and connect to work with your pineal gland. I was talking to Melinda. Hi, Melinda. And she's, decalcifying her pineal gland. So, we're all doing it in different ways. So it's quite interesting. Our North Node, which is right at the top of your heart, I am one, I am source, 1185 hertz on the 777. This is very activational. Located within our heart energy center, our path of soul growth in this lifetime. This is being activated using air energy, so it's fast. This will be working with our Vesta, which we've just been talking about, the light at the back, and is now coming, and in these coming days, so it's all this week. Personal change and how we view our reality, working through the crystal Nirvana quartz, Nirvana quartz, sorry. Again, creating a gateway for the collective, a choice. So just play and connect. 1185 hertz, I am one, I am source, and then it will direct you to be working with the North Node. And again, if you've got any maps out there, if any of you have got any of your frequency maps, your personal frequency maps, have a look to all these personal frequencies and see what it means personally to you. Then we go to Mercury, which is located on the right side of our solar plexus. Our conscious mind is working with air, and it's fast, and it's working with beyond space and time of nurture through the crystal rose quartz, which is why I've got this here right now. And this morning I had it in my pocket when I went to the dentist. This is really helping things come into our conscious mind. Enabling us to push through with the warrior energy of softness. It's like the feather and the flame being harnessed with the air energy, enabling us to remember who we are, a sovereign being, as we get to the epicenter of the issue at play within. So just play and connect. 1185 on the 999. I am feel, I feel. And this is working with remembrance, that sovereign energy. Then last but not least, Cupido. I know it's been rather long this week. Cupido, 963 on the 999 again. So we talked about Cupido right at the beginning, and it ends nicely. It's a nice segue with 999 for your sovereign being, working with your conscious mind, and 999 tools coming from the heart. Again, wanting you to connect. 963 connection on the 999. I am. So it's a big week, as these weeks seem to be right now. Every week seems to be a big week, right? But we have each other. Kindness, compassion to self and others will prevail. And we are sending so much love and energy to you right now. Have a great week. Again, this is on dragon'seyehub.com. I'm going to put the link below, so you can just press that link and it'll take you to this blog with all the information that we talked about earlier on this week. So have a great week and thank you. We love you.